Mic test. Could we hear? 2021 coming to a close. Definitely different than 2020. The vibe of this year has been a lot more different than last year, and I couldn't be any more happy about just the way this year went. After Vlogmas of last year, I got into the heavy renovations of the house. The house was in total renovation mode where we had to rip out the floors. I had to get working on removing the rugs and then doing the floors with Augie. Just a lot of the projects that consumed most of January and February, what I was, of the house, and which kept me busy. I was unemployed and I was kind of just doing the freelance thing, and I had plenty of time to do everything with the house, and I'm loving the way that it all turned out. As the renovations throughout, I'd say January was pretty much nonstop. I was tired. There's a couple of times where me and Augie got into it. Nonetheless, we handled everything from the bathroom tiles to the floors to the bathroom tiles upstairs. It was the tile in the freaking kitchen. Majority of it was all worth it. Came to presentation. Majority of the time we wanted to set up the whole house to where it was show mode or whatever you would call it. Everything was continuing on from 2020. It was bleeding into 2021. I was still cycling. The cycling thing was kind of dying out for me just because I was so busy with the renovations of the house, figuring out my place in 2021 because it was a really transformative time. January was also the month that we decided to bring on a new addition to the family. His name is Henry. Yeah. And the only reason we got him is RJ saw a picture of him at a Dotson rescue. It kind of resembled Bandit a little bit in a way. I said, let's go check him out. I probably fell in love with him more than RJ did. There's something that was telling me that he was just meant to be with us, and he played well with Gigi, and even until this day, he still plays really heavily with Gigi. It helped out because he resembles a lot of Bandit. Still miss Bandit. We even got close to our neighbor Ben. He's been really nice, helping him through whatever he was going through as an individual, but we hung out a lot with him strong in the beginning, and it was real cool. It was real cool because it was like we were getting to know our neighbor, and shout out to him for all the help that he's helped out as a new homeowner, and he was a new homeowner himself. We kind of connected on that level. If it wasn't for Ben, he helped me out more so with like little jobs here and there. So he's in construction, so he allowed me certain jobs in the beginning to shoot real estate construction, to shoot maybe training videos for his company. And going out on the field like that was just getting me kind of like back in the groove of really doing the freelance thing. The opportunities presented itself. I couldn't not take it because pretty much I was out of a job, pushed to kind of go into the whole freelance and self-employed thing. It got me into this mode mentally where I needed to be to kind of prepare me for what was coming in like the middle of the year, and the opportunities just kept rolling. I mean, with the celebration of like my freelance career, I wanted to gift myself a specific camera that I decided to put into my hands. I personally think it was just one of those things where I didn't think about the price. I didn't think about anything when it came to purchasing this particular camera. I think when it comes down to the pure soul and passion of photography has always been something that I like. Kind of getting into it more, I felt like I needed a specific tool that would kind of it would translate and transcend the way that I saw the world. I gifted myself the Leica Q. I just been taking photos all year long, and I just started snapping, in the beginning of the year, and that was allowed me to start documenting stuff throughout the year. Just the photojournalistic style type of photo. I felt like that was the best representation for me. Of course, the skating thing never really stopped. Of course, it slowed down throughout the year, but I still made time to go out skate. I feel like a lot of those times just help me envision and inspire me to kind of continue on with the shooting and the recording and things like that. The skating will always be a part of like my life in that sense. There's just no way that I could not do it and not. They went hand in hand, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, skateboarding forever. A majority of the learning that I've been doing in the house has just been a lot of growing up, in a sense, growing up in taking accountability and responsibility for just the transition of owning a home and being responsible. And honestly, like, I'll always be like that young kid, but you know, like, I think that doing things in a way where you like evolve as an adult has just been very, very a good journey for me and RJ. So, you know, there's just little, of course, like the little events that are always going to be there, memorable. You know, RJ's birthday in Santa Barbara, you know, they all came out, the girls, Heidi and Daryl, we all just kind of had like a chill Airbnb to celebrate her last year in her 20s, and she's 30 now. And Joe and Lily got married this year. Joe and Lily got married this year. Congrats, you guys, man. I love you guys. It was great. It was during a time still of, like, you know, the COVID thing, and you know, this year was still COVID-ish, but you guys made it work. You guys handled it. Yeah, as the year decided to progress on, like, and then we get into the creative stuff. Shout out to Muse, visualize and put together visuals for his music videos. We got into the Close to Me video, his engagement video. If you haven't seen those music videos, you can probably see them somewhere on my channel. Can't wait for your wedding. I needed to bring down my 91 Honda Civic here to the house anyway. I think, yeah, that was another thing that happened this year. I had to bring down my first high school car. Finally envision my car in my own home, which I never thought that I'd have the car still. Have a nostalgic piece of my life in my current home. I mean, it's given me like anxiety here and there, but nonetheless, it sits, it chills, and I'm glad to have it there. I eventually make my way towards shooting weddings again. Everything in the year before was postponed and nothing was happening in 2020. This is the year that I wanted to kind of make those events happen, and the first wedding of the year, it was Tiffany and David. Tiffany is cousins with my really childhood friends growing up in the Bay Area, VJ and MJ. And she reached out to me and John Ponce and RJ, we went out there and, you know, we shot the wedding, and fun times, man. Like, I'd say majority of it was just really just hanging out with friends and kind of just getting back to what I love to do. Like, I think that majority of what my event shooting days were kind of over the year before, and going into it again, I felt like I knew that I could possibly continue doing, you know, that was just the beginning. Engagement photos, so I shot like Christian and Char's engagement photos, which he's the brother of my close high school friend Christina. As time went on, the weddings just kept coming through. I shot Iris and Jeffrey. Shooting that wedding was really cool. I went into Kim and Tim's wedding. We shot that. It was just a good way to bring me back into the event shooting thing, because I didn't know what was ahead, you know, like what was coming in the next. I just kept doing my thing. This transformative time for me when it came down to being a creative, I made a lot of different sacrifices. I had to think about the next amount of gear, the like sacrificing like what I was gonna make that transition into. It came down to like middle May and June, like I'd say that's when it happened. It was when I shot Kim and Tim's wedding, the photographer, Kevin Photography. After that wedding, I get an inquiry, direct messages on Instagram. It was White Rose Production. At first I didn't, you know, like when you get messages, DMs and Instagram, I don't take those things seriously. I just think like it's probably like spam or something. Or they hit me up if I was interested in cinematographer position or shooter position in their company. Gave them my information. Long story short, we started emailing each other, and it was very legit. I was like, oh wow, like their reputation as a wedding production squad here in Southern California is up there. That was it. After our interview, it was like, all right, so here's your schedule for the rest of the year. And did this just really happen? Given an opportunity to do something that a lot of us aspire to do, it just seemed very scary to me, because I was doing it as a freelance and it's all fun and games, and all I know is what I've taught myself. But to be surrounded by the industry, it's taught me so much. Squad, being a part of them, and I'm so thankful that I was able to learn from them and just get my feet wet in what this industry is really like, because there are pros and cons about every job, you know, but when it comes down to doing something that you are passionate about, when it comes back, like to me, it's I'm passionate about using my camera. Presented a consistent opportunity for me to be able to just continue using my camera. And as much as that was the most transformative part of this year, be welcomed and part of this crew. Thank you guys so much for that opportunity from the bottom of my heart, man. Like that has just helped my skill level. You know, it really did help me out this year, and I'm excited for what's to come. White Rose Productions, and also, you know, that was it, man. That was the one that gave it to me. So thank you guys. Shooting for other companies other than White Rose too, so it's like, you know, I ended up shooting for my you know Federa and Shuttered Light. Like I was able to like take on like, you know, a gig with them, and like next year it's going to be looking good too with them. And so in conclusion of this year, this year was a better year than last year. I am grateful, I am thankful. Learned how to manage my professional life, my hobby life, adapt to and everything when it came down to having a responsibility to this home. I feel like I am blessed. Man, it was just a better year. It wasn't better for some, but for me, I know I have to count my blessings. And I think this year has just been one of those years that I just have to look at it and be grateful. And I just have to look at every little thing that has happened to me and happened to me and my family. I gotta look at it in such a positive, optimistic outlook. It's just one of those things where I could look back when I'm old and gray that this is what my life was, and whoever wants to see it, whoever wants to view it, it goes back to reminding me that our memories are precious, and we should take this technology that we have, just continue on with doing what we're doing and memory collecting. To me, it's always been about memory collecting. Whether it's my memories or others, I still stick with that. I could never let go of the true purpose of why I do this stuff, why I've been given the opportunity to do it. I didn't plan on being where I am at, whatever this is, but you know what? The time presented itself for me. I could sit here all day and talk about what I did all year, but truth is that, dude, I've already been making videos all year. I will see you guys next year. Thank you, 2021, for everything that you've given me. Thank you to everyone who's helped me get to where I'm at. Shout out to all my friends, shout out to all my family, my creator friends, whatever the ether that I've gotten involved in this time. Shout out to y'all. Thank you guys. See you guys.